Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome. This might be your first time watching me. My name is Romie. My channel is Romie Reviews. Please like, comment, subscribe. I do TV show reviews, mainly TV show reviews, but every week, as well as every once in a while, some like hot topic segment-ish stuff, but mainly reviews. I also have another channel, Romie Whispers ASMR, so please check that out as well. I put up a video every Wednesday, at least a minimum, so it's a video a week. Let's talk about The Chi. Now, if you haven't been watching this show, you need to. It is great. It is great. I watched season 1 as it was airing in real time, but I just didn't review it. But for season 2, most certainly. And it starts off great. I mean, the sun, maybe the sun wasn't shining, but we see Brandon. Things are looking up. He has a food truck, and he's getting recognition for the food truck. The first guy he served some food to that day only had a credit card. He didn't have one of those like e-reader stuff or credit card machines, so he's gonna have to save and set that up. So he gave the guy, it was a lot of food for free, and said just tell everyone you know and bring cash next time. And so he's racking up. He's doing well for himself. We're really happy. And because, again, he's doing something, he's being a part of the community, talking to people. One of the women he talked to was someone who I guess works for the city. So he may get an official spot where he can park his truck and have people come to him consistently versus just having to drive around. And while she was telling him that, he was actually getting a boo in his car. Thankfully, the guy who had the boo in his car was a big guy, and Brandon was saying, look, my food's so good, it's like crack. The guy was like, oh, he used to do crack, so he'll be the judge of that. I said, oh, okay. And Brandon makes the food. It was like this pork, cheese, omelet type of situation. And the guy loved it, so he took the boot off. After a great day, Brandon gets robbed. He gets robbed. The man takes the truck, robbed him at gunpoint, takes the truck, takes his money, and he's just hurt. He's really hurt. So we see Ronnie. We see this flashback. Remember, Ronnie's in jail. We see this flashback of Ronnie, and Ronnie, he came back from what was it, Iraq maybe? He came back from the military. And we see his grandmother, a younger version of her. I said, look at her hairstyle. Look at her. Look at her. Where's her name? Is it Miss Ethel? Maybe it's Miss Ethel. But anyway, and then it flashes forward to him being in jail and him trying to help out this guy who is, who he can't get his alcohol in jail, so he's going through withdrawal. Emmett's being woken up by his mother, who is tired of it, who is over him not doing anything, slacking off. And he had a meeting that he missed, and he already rescheduled 3 times. And his mother's moving out and leaving him she's going into a 1-bedroom apartment situation because 1, her job situation changed. 2, she needs him to grow up. He hasn't seen his child in months. He's blaming it on the BM, the baby mama. But she's saying it's still your responsibility to still try. And you dropped the ball. You dropped the ball. Now we see Kevin and his mother. Kevin's mom wants him to go to therapy and take the therapy seriously. But Kevin does not want to do that. So then Brandon is talking to his girlfriend again, letting her know that he was robbed, and he did not file a police report. I'm thinking, you expect him to file a police report? Really? Really? Oh, Jerica. But I'm glad that they're still together. He was saying, apparently, I didn't realize he was paying her back. Well, it makes sense, but that's where part of his money's going. So he didn't have insurance on the truck. It's just a lot. He's going to have to find a regular job again to make some income. He needs to. What choice? Really, what choice? So now we're in school and Masha has her science project and I love her. She's one of my favorite characters. on the show. And she built, the solar system. And I loved how the fact she was talking about the planets, she was talking about the sun. She was also talking about how her version of the Earth, because of global warming and polluting and all of that, the Earth was not blue and what was it? Blue with some greenish with some white. No, hers was, it was green. It was green, it was purple, just representing all the pollution. Her teacher was like, "Oh, okay. So now look at Papa and Heaven trying to avoid being picked for their science project, which they have not done. They're supposed to do a volcano. They did not do the volcano. And Papa is doing his usual grandstanding of, oh, he's stressed and he has so much to do and with the church and all of that. Guess who came back, y'all? Guess who decided that, oh, just hanging around and being a thug and a thunkster and a gangster wasn't enough. Jake's back in school. But it's really because the government came in and told his brother, hey, this boy needs to be in school. If we come back and he's not there, he's not going to stay in your custody. Emmett goes to his baby mama's house, and she's still, Lord, they look like the same person. They look more like brother and sister than anything else. It's a little weird to me. But that's not what matters. What matters is she is keeping him away, and she's doing it because he did call CPS, Child Protective Services, on her. So she's over it. She's over it, and she's over him. She said that I don't know if I believed her when she said that she kicked out the baby daddy. Not the baby daddy, her ex. But she's saying the ex is gone. She probably had to do that to keep the son, honestly, with CPS being there. So, okay. But her name's Maisha. Now that sounds more familiar because I was like, who the hell is Masha? Okay. So Kevin and Papa want to pay Maisha money to do their science project. She said she'll do it if they get everything on her list. I thought, oh, okay, all the supplies to make the volcano, cool. No, she wants Now and Laters, she wants Mike and Ike's, she wants Snickers, she wants, a pickle with the peppermint stick already put in it. She wants Jolly Ranchers. She wants Funyuns. I'm like, oh Lord, girl, no. We don't need all that in your life. We don't. And so then Papa looking at her, judging her, and then she said, how you going to be big judging another big person? Oh my gosh, she's the best. Brandon goes over to his mom's house. She's not there. She took a trip. And Brandon's new stepdaddy is looking at him like, yes, I know. She does this all the time. Brandon lets it be known that he was robbed. And I thought the stepdaddy was going to go and actually give him some money, which I thought was weird. But no. He gave him the gun. He never actually threw out the gun. He just knew that Brandon shouldn't have been in possession of the gun. So he hid it. I said, oh, okay. He said, you need to protect yourself somehow. I said, that is true. Emmett doing what a lot of people do, a lot of users do, I should say, is, all right, so this person who normally helps me is no longer doing that. Let me go to the next person. So he goes to Keisha. And remember when they were doing it and she stayed over and then he had to hide? Keisha said she's not dumb. She knows that he's only there in order to keep a roof over his head. He's not there because he really likes her or anything. So at first it seemed like she was going to cave in. I said, you better not, you better not, you better not. No, she didn't. She just gave him some food. She was like, here you go. And I'm so proud of her for not quaking, caving in. Miss Ethel is still Miss Ethel. But Miss Ethel, I said, oh, did she lose a little bit of weight? Her face doesn't look as full. I said, Miss Ethel, she look a little I know she has a new hairstyle. I did notice that. I said, oh, you go, Miss Ethel. And that's all yours too. Now, Everything should have been going well, but there is a ring at the door, and Jada, she opens the door. This woman's there, and she's saying how there were many calls, many messages, letters regarding what? The landlord who owns this building, who owns this house, who owns the building, I think foreclosed and it had to be sold off. So she has to vacate the premises. And we want to help her with some assistant living. Now remember, Jada is being paid by the stipend of money that the Social Security or whatever money that would normally go to Miss Ethel is now directly being paid to Jada for her services. And Jada feels bad that Emmett is out on the street. Miss Ethel says that she needs to bring her son back in. As her only child, you need to do everything you can to protect him. And part of me, the only reason why I felt like, maybe we can do this another way, is because the streets are cold. And the last thing we need is Emmett to get into some real mess just because he doesn't have a roof under his head. That's how I felt for 2.5 seconds. The all 99% of me said he had to go. He was becoming a bum. And one thing we're not doing is being a bum. There's a difference between someone calling you a bum and you really aren't, and them being trash for doing so, and you actually being one. Okay? Alright? In jail, Ronnie makes a new friend. And the friend talks about how he has a daughter. He talks about how he's in jail for robbery, larceny, arsony. The list was, I said, what? And he's been in jail for a while. And Ronnie's going to have a bunkmate. Ronnie's going to have a friend. We see this flashback of better days after Ronnie came back from the military, and he's trying to apply for a job for, a police officer role. And he's like, they have so many questions. How am I supposed to remember or know all this stuff? And his grandmother's just like, look, take a break, you'll find a way. But we kept hearing this weird, not like that. My voice can't go high enough for that. Actually, let me not try. I have other videos to do. Anyway, we heard this weird sound that has us thinking, oh no, he has some type of trauma. And, hold on. Yay, so the light went out. So, oh boy, let's just continue. Let's power through. Who was I talking about? See what happens when foolery occurs? It just railroads everything. Brandon goes over to, dang it. Goes over to, what's his name? To Reggie's place, because Brandon has the gun back. He got the gun, he gives it back to Reggie, and he's thinking that it's one of Reggie's people that when stole from him. I'm thinking, for once, I don't think that Reggie set you up just to keep you in the fray. I really don't think he needs to do all of that to keep you in line. Reggie said, keep the gun because I'm not done with you. Which I figured was going to be the case. Emmett goes to work. I forgot that he still had that job. And he was trying to get cleaned up in the kitchen. I'm thinking, Lord. So then Emmett goes and sees these girls, and he's not slick. I'm like, he's going to go and party with them. They went to the club, they're making out, and once everything was done and over with, they ditch him because they're smart. They're smart. He thought that he was going to have a place to crash for the night. He surely did not. So he is on this train, and he's just going to sleep there tonight. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you do foolery. It comes back to you some way, shape, or form at some point. There's these two guys that like, found you. I'm thinking, wait, but who's he have a problem with? My brain was racing for a second. And then they said that they were his baby mama's, one of them was his baby mama's brother. I said, ooh. And the other one was the cousin. Something like that. which had me realize, ooh, ooh, they punch him, deck him in the face, deck him in the stomach. I'm thinking, oh, now he can at least use this to get back in the house. That's what I thought. Papa decides he needs to get his friends back together. The stress is bad for his skin. He's gonna have them fight like Rock'em Sock'em. He gives them these. He gives them these large boxing gloves so that they can hit each other, and he actually gets hit in the stomach as a result. They hit each other, and they're young guys, so after doing that for a while, now they're cool again. Now they're cool again, but they still have to figure out this science project. So what they're going to do is the library is locked up. The library is locked up. They need to get the keys. Kevin tells the janitor that, oh, dang it, what do you call it? The toilet is clogged. So that's when Jake goes, steals the keys. Ronnie has a flashback about how, because when he was talking to his new prison buddy, Ronnie was talking about how he, being in the army and all of that, and the guy said, he thought about changing his life, going to the army, but then he continued doing what he was doing, and then he said, but then again, you were there, and it's not like it really did you anything. I said, now who the hell are you talking to? Sir, you don't know his life. Now, Ronnie being back, and we see this flashback of essentially his friends kind of telling him, we're surprised that you're back here. I mean, nothing new has changed since you've gone, so we were surprised you came back. After that, we see that Brandon is trying to get this job at this very nice restaurant, and the owner chef, she is saying, this is a very interesting dish. It tastes good, but what's the story behind it? And he didn't understand that. So then she gives him her story about being from, Africa, from Nigeria, and how when she came over here, the food was nasty. It was a lot of processed food. There was a lot of fast food, but it was cheap, and so we ate it. I said, "Ooh, isn't that the truth?" But she started to cook more at home, cook fresh stuff, grow fresh stuff, and made her feel connected to her home again. And because of that, that's her story. That's why she's here. That's why she's doing this. She said that when she tastes his food, she doesn't taste the history or the story in the background. I said, wow, that's deep. So he did not get the job. He did not get the job, but that's something for him to think of about. Now, when Miss Ethel was being Miss Ethel, and she was trying to get the neighborhood kids off of her property, as well as stop playing the loud music, and they were ignoring her, Jada said, let's come inside. We'll call the block leader. Excuse me. And then we see the flashback again of Ronnie trying for the police academy, but he was not doing well. The ringing in his ear kept going off, and it just wasn't working out. Good news! After Brandon had that, the cops said, we found your truck. They took some stuff, but the truck is still, for the most part, in one piece. And he tells his girl that, Jerica, I didn't get the job because I didn't have a story. But then he goes and talks about how when he was younger, he made his brother, the one that was killed, this food. It was like cupcakes and yogurt and something else, some type of mess, some type of concoction. And he said his brother ate it all up. And from that day forward, it kind of put the battery in his back as far as cooking. And so then she said, hello, that is your story, dude. Lord. Emmett tried to go back home to his mom. His mom said no. I mean, it was breaking her heart. He was kicking the fence like, "Mom, let me in." I'm like, sir, sir. So do you want a homeless and another butt whooping? Part two? Is that what you want? Because it can happen. I mean, the homeless dude felt so bad for Emmett that he was like, "Do you want the cart?" Okay. Now remember, Kevin, Papa, and Jake took the volcano because they didn't have time and didn't have the know-how or were too lazy to make a volcano themselves. So they went and took the school's volcano. They changed the color to hide it, and they took some cleaning supplies and soda to make the volcano work. Now I thought that they were going to mess up their parents' house. Thankfully, that was not the case. But they did mess up the teacher. But the teacher couldn't be mad because the volcano exploded. The volcano works. Now, Maisha knows. She knows they stole the volcano, so she still wants all the stuff from her list. Kevin, trying to be a decent, little brother, he was asking Keisha, "Oh, what's with the track stuff?" She said she's doing track and field. She's going to be running again. And he was like, "Oh, when's your next meet?" Why are you all up in my business? Because I want to be there to support you. Oh, I said, oh, what's the ulterior motive? I don't believe it. No, let me stop. But she was telling him, he was talking about therapy and said he felt very uncomfortable. She said, you need to, speak your truth and say what your feelings are. And as soon as that happened, to it flipped to Ronnie taking what looked like prison wine out of his toilet, and he drank it, and then he took the the towelettes, the moist towelettes, but the ones with the acid, and he put it underneath on his gums. And I said, "Oh my God, he's really an addict." That, and he also said that he's gonna plead guilty. He's gonna no contest, so they're gonna give him the death penalty. So he's just spiraling, and then he's remembering when he really started to drink heavy once he got the news that he wasn't accepted into the police academy, and he was actually gonna go and shoot his brains out. But thankfully, a kid basketball came flying through the window, broke the window, and the kid was trying to run away. And I said, "Yo, Ronnie, breathe, breathe. Don't mess that kid up. Ronnie, breathe." Because Ronnie definitely had that look like he was. I said, "Stop, stop." Guess what the kid's name is? Guess what the kid's name is? You'll never guess what little kid was. His son, Jason. Small world, huh? So now we see that with no other alternatives, Emmett goes to see his father. See, that's when you know you really done messed up. And his father is like trying to handle 2, 3 kids. And Emmett's like, "Hey, Dad." I'm like, "Oh, Lord." Brandon, he's going to do some rebranding for his truck. And he's going to dedicate it to his brother, Kookie. Um, I already knew this next scene was going to be bad. I said, no, don't let them in. He did not let you see the official paperwork for too long. Close the door. When I tell you, this man wanted to come in the house and, he was like, "Oh, any type of donations you can give would be appreciated for the veteran." I said, "Don't believe him." She's like, "Oh, okay, let me just go and get my..." I said, "No!" She turned, he opened the door, he started to beat the dog crap out of Miss Ethel. There was blood everywhere. He kept dragging her, kicking her, beating her. And I said, and then another person came and started to ransack the place. I don't know if it's like some street retribution for Ronnie or what it was. I thought like rape or something was about to happen. Miss Ethel, Miss Ethel gets on my nerves, but she didn't deserve anything like that. Kevin's therapist sucks. She is trash. She asks some okay questions, but I don't like her. I don't. Especially when she was trying to ask about, oh, so about the shooting, how does it make you feel? And but she did bring up a good point about how Kevin did say, if I grow up, which is powerful. If I grow up, wow. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Whew. I will be reviewing this season as long as people